This is for the collective, and it's about you and the person that you're dealing with. At first, I'm going to get your energy with the Moonology. So we've got make time for self-love. This is the last quarter moon in Libra. And then we've got detoxify, full moon in Taurus. So Taurus and Libra are both ruled by Venus. And that has a lot to do with the Empress. The Empress is also Venetian energy. And the Empress is all four queens. And she represents a lot of abundance and aesthetics and beautiful things. And she's the receiver of affection and love, and she magnetizes things to her. So with Libra and Taurus here, I just feel that Venetian energy. And there's something that is needing to be rid of with this detoxify. You're needing to rid your energy system and give yourself more attention, because there's something that is blocking your energy field. You need to detox to restore equilibrium to your situation. Perhaps you've been obsessing and have fallen into a negative headspace. Whatever the case, you need to release any drama, possessiveness, and stubbornness to free up everything. Digging in your heels won't help, and neither will allowing yourself to be mean. It could be a spiritual, emotional, or physical detox that's called for. Find a balance between what your heart wants and what is the practical next step to take. Okay. Okay, yeah, it says the last quarter moon in Libra. Where's the last quarter moons? That's new moon. That's first quarter. Last is behind the full moon. Okay, here we go. So we've got, have you been trying to please all of the people all of the time when you're not yet quite happy yourself? There's a difference between wanting to live positively and spiritually bypassing. When you refuse to acknowledge your feelings, you can't fool the universe, so pretending to be happy when you're sad will get you nowhere. Rather, you need to deal with your feelings. That's the only way. If you're people pleasing, stop. Think about what's going on and why you're doing it. If you're in an unbalanced relationship, address the situation. While it's lovely to do things nicely, they also need to be done well. Be sincere. The way to get in the manifesting zone is to work through all your stuff. Once you've done that, you become a clear signal for your desires. Harmony surrounds me. I am on my path. And it's specifying Fridays as being a Venetian ruled day. Or during Venus's hour, which you'd have to know more about that to know when exactly that will be. So, all right, let's get some tarot here. Let's show me how the energy's coming in. What's the most dominant, potent energy? Thank you. Ooh, Three of Swords. Yeah, so there's some pronounced pain and suffering here. Three of Swords. Okay, and underlying this energy is the Seven of Swords. So yeah, there's a lot of deceit showing up here immediately. There's hurt, there's deceit, there's sneakiness. I don't know if it's perceived deceit or if it's actual. Let's just keep going. Let me pull a spread here and get more information. All right, thank you. So the Three of Blades and then the Three of Wands. So threes are significant. Oh, it just gave me the chills. And then the devil. Okay. And my whole arm is lighting up with spirit chills. It's crazy. Then the Ace of Cups, followed by the Two of Coins. All right. Three of Wands is all about a waiting energy. It's about like having put forth some time and effort into something, and then waiting for your return to come back. So there's some aspect here of like a gestation, a waiting, something that you're like anticipating a return from. You're like literally, like spending time and energy on some return of something that you've invested a lot in. It's Aries, Sun and Aries energy. Now at the bottom, underlying all this energy here is this Eight of Wands reversed. This is about lack of communication and there not being any contact when it's in reverse. Page of Cups is also in reverse, and this energy is about trickery, manipulation, lies. And then we've got the devil here right in the middle of the spread. So Three of Swords, Three of Wands, the devil, Ace of Cups, Two of Coins, and then the Ace of Wands. So you're anticipating something to come back for your effort. The devil energy is all about attachments that are binding you in some way, keeping you restricted, holding you back, keeping you chained to life negating tendencies, and the way that things are going to show up in this energy is going to be really debilitating and toxic. Ace of Cups, Two of Coins, Ace of Wands. So there's such hope and motivation and energy here for a renewal, a beginning again. Like I feel the way it's showing here with this Two of Pentacles and two aces on each side. The aces are all about beginnings, and so the Ace of Cups is about emotion. Water represents emotion, and the wands represent, Ace of Wands represent passion, spirituality, sexuality, and that's fire. So you've got water and fire here, and then you've got the Two of Pentacles. So this is like balancing and keeping things in motion and keeping them moving. There's an energy of movement with that card. And then the twos also resemble duality and making a decision, choice points. So the Ace of Wands is about passion and igniting, and the Ace of Cups is about like a forgiveness and a resurrection of some sort of connection that left you feeling this way, like completely alone, hurt, betrayed, sad, devastated. So, or it's about leaving that for once and for all, not expecting a return of that partner and just realizing it's over. And nice. And then, I just happened to notice the last card at the table is this Temperance. And this is so poignant because it's Sagittarian energy. But as you can see, the face is blacked out so that it's like that got that timeless quality. Like there's a timelessness to it. There's no time in Temperance. And the angel depicted in this energy on the Rider-Waite tarot is balance. Is got two cups and she's pouring water and fire, and you've got water and fire right above with the aces. And so she's alchemicalizing with water and fire. So there's a really big emphasis on those two elements. So Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, and Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And we've got this Nine of Swords, and this is very debilitating energy. It's more intrusive thoughts, worry. It could possibly represent insomnia, but it's all about really negative mental concepts and beliefs and thoughts. And that falls right under the Three of Swords, which is congruent with that energy, which is really just being in the dumps, really feeling like crap. And you've got the Two of Wands. This is a decision. Twos are all about choice points, and this particular energy is deciding whether they're going to continue in the world that they've known, where they're comfortable, where they are familiar, or are they going to choose the unknown, which is, a little frightening, but it's exhilarating too, and it enlivens you and gives you a quick pulse. Now, I'm just noticing this other row because I didn't look yet. We've got the Ace of Coins here, another ace. So that's the third ace on the table. And then there's the Emperor in reverse. And then the Page of Wands in reverse. Damn. So, wow, that's the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands, just like the fire and water. So you've got two aces that represent those elements, and then you've got Temperance that represents those elements, and now you've got the pages of each element, and they happen to be in reverse. So that brings about the negative polarity of this energy to the forefront. Yeah. And also the Emperor was in reverse. So, where do I begin? The Emperor is an Aries energy, and they're a leader, they're authority, like the boss. It's what exhibits the control, and for it to be in reverse, it's like got a manipulative underscore to it. It also states that you're not using your power, you're standing in a weakened place, you're not accessing all that there is for you. Yeah, and with this Nine of Swords, Three of Swords, and this Devil energy, there's just a real emphasis on your debilitating thoughts and expectations, and because of coming from that place of being really hurt, and that's what's fueling these energies. So there needs to be healing. The Page of Cups reversed and the Page of Wands reversed is more like underhanded, manipulative, sneaky, cunning. It's not good energy. Like the Cups energy in reverse is like inviting somebody on a date, and then like it just being like a setup, like, but that person doesn't know, but like setting them up to like just find out information about them, or it's just some kind of like cunning, sneaky, shitty energy, and they're using emotions as their drawing power to get somebody to, pay attention to what they have to say or whatever. And the Wands, and that's just the same kind of energy. It's like about using attraction and like luring somebody to do something without knowing the full scope of the other person's intentions. So that just says pages are about beginnings, and they're very immature energy because they're like adolescent, if you were going to put a timetable on them as an age. So there's aspects in this dynamic that were underhanded, and it all stemmed from insecurity, instability, like this fracture in the foundation that wasn't communicated enough about. So all these fissures like broke off from the initial breaking point. And that's what I'm seeing. Like with this no contact, no communication energy that's really prominent with the Eight of Wands in reverse, that right there is going to kill any relationship, because if you don't communicate, you don't have anything. There's no way to remedy anything. So I'm going to clarify here because I'm very curious. Let's clarify with the Three of Wands. What's up with that? Yeah, this Hanged Man energy. So this is, again, with the pause, with the waiting. It's like martyr energy almost. It's almost like you're self-sacrificing at this point, because what are you waiting for? I don't know. If there's no contact, and if there's all these underscores of feelings that are like, you don't even know certain aspects of this truth, you question all these things about this person, and you have no idea what the exact truth is, then you can't trust them. And if there's no trust, there's nothing. Again, with communication and trust, they're pretty important for relationships. Wheel of Fortune is underlying that. This is about change and the turn of the wheel. So this Devil energy, can you tell me more about the Devil? I just heard the ties that bind. I don't know, it's weird. The ties that bind. Four of Cups and Justice. So this is that Libra energy that was that came out in the beginning of the reading with the last quarter moon in Libra. Justice is about cause and effect, the weighing of the scales, seeing that things are remedied in a balanced manner. You know, it's Libra in the major arcana. And then the Four of Cups is an energy of not giving a sweet shit about anything, you know. I mean, just really being complacent and apathetic. So this is clarifying the Devil, and I just feel like I immediately just got the feeling that it's about like the two people that are involved in this particular dynamic that I'm reading for. One is represented by the Justice, and one's represented by the Four of Cups. Like, that's just how it came out, how I felt. So we've got this is the Devil card energy. I just have to cover a little bit of the nudity. But anyway, so yeah, and as you can see, like, the universe is extending this fourth cup, you know, this ace, if you will, you know, this cup of unconditional love and abundance, and this person won't even look at it. They won't even look at it. They won't even acknowledge it. It's so apathetic. It's just very disconnected and in their own world, in their own freaking playhouse. I don't know what I was going to say there, but they're just they're not anywhere near aware. They're complacent. Justice is number 11. All right, so that's what I'm getting for that. I don't know what to say. I'm going to pull some oracles here in a minute, but I just want to look at the pages here. What are these pages? Page of Cups, Page of Wands. What's up with that? Oh, then we got the Two of Swords. So this is the ways that you are not able to see. And remember, I said that the pages are like trickery and cunning because of them being in reverse. And so that's the Two of Swords is about being blind. Obviously, she's blindfolded, and you're not able to see the true intentions of those energies. So that's pretty spot on for that energy. And there's 2 pages that I was clarifying, and and you got the 2 of Swords, so that's pretty cool too, because it lines right up with both cards. And then underlying that is the 5 of Swords, which is very much a card about strife, sneakiness. It's like the same freaking theme. Underhandedness, manipulation tactics, power struggles, competition, just nothing that's of good nature. And then underlying the 5 of Swords is the Page of Wands that I'm clarifying. The Page of Wands. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's get the Emperor in reverse. What more can you tell me about the Emperor in reverse? The major arcana on the table is Temperance, the Emperor, and Justice. All right, so look at this. The 10 of Cups is showing at the very bottom here, and then the 4 of Wands here is sticking way out. And the 4 of Wands is about completion, but it's also about family and life, and celebration and your way, your home life. So there's some sort of completion here with an aspect that you once believed to be like this in your life. It was somebody that was really significant and you thought of as your lover, your family. King of Swords. So there's a lot of that came out for the Emperor. King of Swords, which is another energy likened to the Justice. It's very much intelligent, a stout, very in their intellect. Air is the element, so it's not very emotional. It's very logical, using their reasoning. They're very smart. Sometimes they can be dry and cold and really rigid in the way they think. So this is clarifying the Emperor reversed. So not shocked to see the King of Swords there. The 5 of Cups, this is about, it's more energy of sadness and paying attention to the things that you lost versus the positive that still remains in any situation that you're looking at. Then the 6 of Cups, so this is about the past, nostalgia and memories. So there's a lot of sadness here, and when remembering the past, it brings up the memories, of the hope that was here. I surmise. And then we've got the Hermit energy. This is Virgo in the major arcana, and this is about, again, with that kind of like on your own kind of feel. Like the Hermit is in seclusion, in isolation, to go within and get the wisdom from the divine, by being quiet and alone. And that's that Hermit energy. It's about finding, and it did say to give yourself self-love. And the full moon in Taurus detox. So that Hermit energy is very much about being insular and getting away from the everyday routine that you're used to, and connecting to source and allowing yourself to detox from life as you know it. So I'm going to get some oracles and see. This sucks. This was really sad, honestly. The emotions that I felt were really sad. I wonder, though, if there isn't some kind of projection occurring. It almost feels like there was so much uncertainty that you weren't positive if things were happening, but they were assumed. So it just kind of feels like it wasn't even definite, but it was an assumption, and possibly it wasn't the right assumption. I don't know. Addictions were at play here. Toxic attachment, drugs, alcohol, and obsession. That right there is the equivalent to the devil. And then party, celebration, event, social gathering, fear, being afraid, suspicious, uneasy, scared. Wow. And then change. So regeneration, growth, metamorphosis, and cycles. And this is the divine intervention here. It says serendipity, catalyst, supernatural, and karma. And underlying that is heartbreak. So all the people that come into our lives are, if they're significant, they are catalysts for lessons that we learn, because everybody heals. I mean, everybody teaches everybody else something. That's what we're all doing here. We're teaching each other by hurting each other, by loving each other. So it's a hot mess, but really it's the same for the other person in certain ways. So it's best to have compassion and to see the other person in a perspective that would benefit your heart and your understanding, and not like villainize the other person. Because if you loved them at one point, they can't be the villain the next day or a week later, because you guys had a falling out. That's just, I feel like a lot of people do that. They villainize their ex or somebody that it's not going great with, and that just makes everything worse, and it's not the answer. The answer is to discuss the issues honestly and to not be a coward. I wish I could be fully honest with you. Yeah, so do they. Is it over? I wish I could be a different person. Lots of wishing here. Why is it that you love me? So it seems like these cards are speaking about a person that has low self-esteem, low self-confidence. That's that Emperor in reverse. They're very much not in their power. They're not thinking well about themselves. They're very pessimistic and negative. And I mean, that's sad. But why don't they? I'll find out about communication in a minute. People don't believe in me. And I feel like that's not true because I'm afraid to lose you. That's not true because you wouldn't have been with them if you didn't believe in them. So that's just another projection that they're feeding into. Life without you is hopeless, dark, and depressing. I miss your light. You deserve better. But there again, that's that energy, and I cry at night. Jesus, that's sad. You deserve better. Emotions overwhelm me. I am better with my mind than with my heart. So possibly that has a lot to do with why the communication is stale or stagnant, is because they have what's the word? A challenge with communicating the emotional aspects of their heart. What's in this energy, please? Passion. Oh, great. And then triangle. Yeah, right. You'd love to see that. So passion came out, and then triangle. So there was definitely some interference, third party, something. And yeah, it figures. And then, of course, underlying that is obstacles. And that would definitely put delays, blocks in the pathways. But the passionate feelings here and chemistry were interfered with by this energy of third party stuff. And then, so a blonde female has come out with true gem. And that's about being valuable, having quality, and lighter hair. Obviously, blonde female. Underlying this is being single, freedom. It's like the Fool card in the tarot. And then underlying that is fun times, which is about parties, events, social gatherings. which you did get that in this deck as well. So you've got an emphasis on like going out events or like that kind of partying kind of atmosphere. And addiction showed up pretty heavily too. So just be mindful that when you're in emotional stress or having emotional turbulence, that the best thing isn't to escape through substances. That's not ever going to help the situation. It might be a temporary distraction, but it only actually makes things worse in the long run. And you can't escape the long run. It's going to show up. So it's better to just to not to escape feelings. It's best to talk to somebody and be honest with your emotions and let yourself feel them. That's the healthy way to not be suffocated by them and to not find yourself in a place that you're unhappy. You know, you got to feel your feelings. That's just the way it is. We need, our emotions are here for a reason. And so yeah, we've got temperance in the world here again. So this is beautiful because temperance is the virtuous energy. It's about like your guides, angels, the spirit world that really guides and adores you and is helping you. And alchemy is about taking the things that are really like lead and turning them into gold, right? In your psychological makeup. And so that's about transmuting your emotions, transmuting your pain, and keeping the things that are positive and that are life-giving in your experience, and then, you know, getting rid of the things that weigh you down, that drain you, that take away and subtract from your contentment. And then with the world card, that's all about completions. It's a culmination point. It's a Saturn energy. It's like an ending so that there's a beginning. It's like with the circle. So there's the world card is like, it's almost like a good omen too, because it's like you successfully completed something, and I feel like it's lessons. You successfully have gotten through some sort of lesson that you were meant to have in your journey. And so now is the time for you to do the healing by admitting, you know, the things that really went on, just being really honest with yourself and with others. And sometimes if you need outside therapy, that's really advantageous for you to seek out and to get, because they have the training and the medical background to assist us in those kind of times when we need that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what they're there for. And it really is, to have a problem and to ignore it is worse, in my opinion, than to have a problem and seek out the proper help or support through that problem and get beyond it. You know what I mean? Like, what would you rather be, stuck in the problem and just let it fester in your energy field and in your mind and heart and let it just bleed out into the rest of your life and just cause all this discord and ugliness around you? No. You deal with what you have in front of you and you put one foot in front of the other like a big boy or a big girl. That's, no one compares to you. So no one compares. No matter how many people I've met and experienced and experiences I have, there is nobody who compares to you. So obviously you felt very strongly for this person, and I feel like they really dipped out on you, and that's not cool. It's like because of their own lacking or their own self perception, but you don't know that, and also they didn't communicate much with you, so it left you like on red. It left you hanging, and it really fed into your own intrusive thoughts that were just cascading and telling you all these things that were happening because you didn't know. So that's the human brain's literally that's what the human brain does. It fills in blanks where it shouldn't, and it does that with everything in life, and it's really misleading. And when we're hurt and when we're having emotional times and when we're feeling really vulnerable, that is, it's just like on tilt. It goes extra and it feeds all these things into your mind that, oh, I bet this was happening, and I bet, and then you tell yourself these storylines, and then you actually believe in, and you make things so much worse than they really are. So that's sucky energy, and it happens to all of us. So don't judge yourself, but just be mindful that that's occurring. Would you pack a bag and meet me in Hawaii? I just want to get away from the world and be alone with you. That's a really cool card. I would love to go to Hawaii, and yes, I would meet you, whoever you are. Just kidding. So, yeah, I feel like this person on the other side of this is really hurt too, and really feeling powerless in a way. I just feel like because the Emperor in reverse, it just feels like they don't feel like they have, I don't know. I'm sorry just came out. I hate how much I've hurt you. I'm so sorry for all the pain I've caused. You didn't deserve any of it. And that came out with gaslighting. And it says, I have been lying to you. I have been lying to and gaslighting you. You weren't crazy. You were right. I just wasn't strong enough to admit it. I'm sorry. And underlying that is, it was time I went within to find myself. I need to figure out what I want out of life. I need space. So, all right. Is there anything else I want to pull from? Oh, let's just see what these have to say really quick. Cupid's arrow. It says, embrace, find peace within your current state of being. And then peace came out after that. Peace and contentment are coming to you. And evaluation. Feed out what doesn't serve you. Reevaluate the situation. So I think with this detox from this energy, from this situation, from this dynamic, there's a separation, and the detox that you're going to get is going to give you time to evaluate and reflect and to do some assessing and to get a better foothold into your own motivations and to your own part. And then also maybe you'll get some clarity about their side of it too. I don't know, but it's hard when there's no communication. But let's get some spirit allies for you. I keep getting these chills all over on my arm. It's just weird. It's just one arm. So 2 cards came out. The first one is rhodochrosite. I can't say that right. It's a crystal. It's really pretty. And then Nyx, which is the goddess of night. So number 9 and number 22. So I'll tell you about the first one, rhodochrosite, if I'm not saying that right. I welcome opportunities that lead to my heart's desires. This can be found in variations of pink and brown with streaks of white that give this stone a unique appearance. Its connection to the heart chakra makes it a great companion to help open the heart and welcome positivity into your life. When it comes to making decisions, they are often categorized as being made with the head or the heart. You're being encouraged to welcome decisions that will lead to happiness and your heart's true desires. Find what speaks to you and what warms your soul, and let that be the choice that you make. If you are having a hard time discerning between your options, close your eyes and focus your energy towards your heart. Notice any subtle shifts that weigh your options. Wait. Notice any subtle shifts when you weigh your options and listen to what your intuition and your heart are saying. And it says, if I let it, where would my heart lead me? That's the journal prompt. And then Nyx, this energy. I love both the dark and the light sides of myself. Nyx's dark and mysterious energy has led her to become a powerful personification of the night. Feared even by Zeus, Nyx stands tall in her power as a divine feminine goddess. Born from chaos, she oversees the darkness that comes over us each night. The goddess encourages you to find peace within the dark. And here we go with the energy of peace. It says embrace peace and then find peace. So that's, and then Libra is really a peaceful, meditative, mediator energy, Libra, and you've got justice. So anyway, let me finish. Find peace within the dark. Without darkness, there can be no light, and within each of us, there is both light and dark. You are being presented with the opportunity to learn from and heal your shadow patterns. A portal is open for you to forgive yourself and others. There is much to learn from navigating the darkness to unveil the light hidden within the heaviest burdens you've been carrying. Look to the stars when you feel alone, and be comforted that Nyx is watching over you in her cloak of stars. And the journal prompt is, what steps can I take to begin healing what's been bothering me? What steps can you take to begin the healing? All right, let me get that card. Where did it go? I can't even see it. All right, well, whoa. I have to, that sucks. Unless I can somehow delete it, or edit it, but it's right here this whole time. I balance my masculine and feminine sides. Forgive yourself. As I forgive myself, I leave behind all feelings of not being good enough, and I am free to love myself. And at the beginning of the reading was the very first card of self-love with that Libra energy. And discern the truth. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. I was just talking about this. We make an assumption, we misunderstand, we take it personally, then we react by sending emotional poison with our word. Oh man, I do this. I'm so guilty of this. This creates a whole big drama for nothing. Damn. The masculine and feminine parts of me are in perfect balance and harmony. I am at peace and all is well. Take your life and enjoy it. You are alive, so take your life and enjoy it. You were born with the right to be happy, to love, and to share your love. So take a risk and enjoy your life. It's all that matters. These are your messages for now. I hope they resonated and hope they helped you out. Take care.